Let's get one thing straight. Building wealth is not rocket science. It's not reserved for Ivy League grads, crypto geniuses, or people who drink green juice at 6 a.m. It's math, it's habits, and honestly, it's easier than you've been led to believe. So if you stick with me over the next few minutes, we're breaking down 10 harsh but freeing truths that prove building wealth is easier than you think, if you actually do this. Each truth is something rich people quietly understand that broke people never even consider. But here's the problem. Most people treat money like it's this mysterious, magical creature, when really it's just a system. A system you've been programmed to misunderstand. Think about it. Everyone's been taught to work hard for money, but almost no one's been taught how to make money work for them. And that's exactly why the rich keep winning, because they're playing a different game entirely. So let's just start with the most important one. Truth number one, you don't need to be smart, you just need systems. Now, if you've been following our recent videos, you already know everyone loves to believe wealth is about intelligence. Like, oh, he's a genius investor. Not really. Guess what? He's just consistent. Wealth doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards systems. Think about it. You can have a 140 IQ and still be broke if your paycheck disappears the moment you get it. But someone with average smarts who automates savings, invests regularly, and keeps expenses low, they'll be rich quietly, while the smart ones are still flexing for Instagram. The truth is, your brain is unreliable. It gets tired, emotional, impulsive. That's why systems win. They remove emotion from the equation. The rich don't decide to save money every month. Their accounts do it automatically. They don't think about investing. They set recurring deposits and forget. You don't need willpower, you need automation. Set it once, let time compound your discipline. Because wealth isn't about effort, it's about structure. And speaking of structure, let's talk about the second truth. The rich don't try to earn their way to wealth. They own their way there. Truth number two, you'll never get rich from a paycheck. Okay, now here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Your paycheck was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you just comfortable enough to keep showing up. Think about it. Every time you get a raise, your lifestyle somehow expands right along with it. New car, nicer apartment, better phone, and suddenly you're back at zero again. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it's the silent killer of wealth. See, your job gives you security, but security is not freedom. Security means you're trapped in a loop where missing one paycheck could destroy everything you've built. That's why the rich don't chase income. They chase ownership. They understand something most people never do. If your money stops coming in the moment you stop working, you're not free. You're trapped. Let me put it this way. The guy making $60,000 a year with 2 rental properties and dividend stocks is often wealthier than the guy making $200,000 a year with no assets and $150,000 in lifestyle expenses. Because the first guy owns machines that make money for him, the second guy is the machine. Rich people don't think, how can I make more money this month? They think, how can I own something that pays me every month? It's not about working harder, it's about escaping the hamster wheel. Because your paycheck is like a treadmill. The moment you stop running, you fall off. But ownership, that's like building a car that keeps driving, even when you're asleep. So instead of obsessing over a promotion, start asking yourself, how can I use my paycheck to buy my freedom? Buy stocks that pay dividends. Buy assets that cash flow. Start small, but start owning. Because if your only plan is a paycheck, you're playing a game that was rigged from the start. And here's the ironic part. Once you stop chasing paychecks, you'll realize that hard work alone doesn't even move the needle. That takes us to truth number 3. Truth number 3, effort doesn't equal income. Now this one stings a little, but I just gotta say it. Since kindergarten, you've been told the same exact lie. If you just work hard, you'll be successful. But in the real world, the hardest working people are often the most underpaid. If hard work made people rich, construction workers would be billionaires, single moms would own yachts, and Amazon warehouse employees would have private jets. They work harder than CEOs. They just don't work on the right things. See? Money doesn't reward sweat. It rewards leverage. That's the quiet secret rich people figured out early. They don't try to outwork everyone. They try to outsmart the system everyone's trapped in. They use tools, technology, and people to multiply their results. They build systems that keep producing long after they've stopped working. That's leverage. And that's what flips the wealth game upside down. The broke mindset says, I'll make more money by working more hours. The wealthy mindset says, I'll make more money by removing myself from the hours altogether. It's why a YouTuber can post a video once and earn money for years. Why a landlord can sleep while rent payments roll in. Why investors get paid from dividends even when they're on vacation. They've separated time from money, and that's when income becomes infinite. Because think about it, when you trade time for money, your income has a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. But when you trade systems for money, your income has no limit. The sad part? Most people don't even realize they're trapped in a system that keeps them dependent. They think being tired means they're doing something right, but exhaustion doesn't equal progress. It equals inefficiency. That's why rich people don't glorify hustle. They glorify freedom. They're not trying to work harder. They're trying to work once and get paid forever. Here's the question that flips everything. Does the thing I'm working on keep paying me when I stop showing up? If the answer is no, you're not building wealth. You're building dependency. Effort alone is noble, but it's not scalable. And scalability is the bridge between working for money and having money work for you. So stop measuring success by how busy you are. Start measuring it by how free you are. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much effort you give. It's about how much leverage you have. By the way, if you're still struggling with your finances, don't stress. Go back and watch our financial freedom playlist to help you go from broke and middle class to financially untouchable. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But anyways, that brings us to something just as powerful. Because in today's world, the richest people aren't just leveraging time or money, they're leveraging attention. That's truth number 4. Truth number 4. Attention is the new currency. Let me hit you with something that just might blow your mind. In today's world, money doesn't follow effort. It follows attention. Think about it. Why does a 19-year-old kid with a phone make more in a month than a 40-year-old who's been grinding at a desk job for 2 decades? Because the kid understands attention. In 2025, attention is the most valuable currency on the planet. And the funny part? It's completely free to get if you know how to earn it. See, attention is leverage on steroids. When you have it, you don't need permission. You don't need connections. You don't even need a fancy degree. Because once people are watching, you can turn that attention into anything. Money, influence, freedom, opportunities. That's why YouTubers build empires. That's why brands pay millions to influencers who just hold up a product for 5 seconds. That's why Elon Musk can tweet a single word and make or destroy billions in seconds. And attention moves markets. It changes lives. And it's completely up for grabs. Here's the truth. People aren't broke because they lack talent. They're broke because nobody knows they exist. We live in an attention economy, and the person who knows how to capture attention controls everything that comes after. It's not about fame. It's about visibility. You don't need millions of followers. You just need the right people paying attention to the right thing. That could mean starting a YouTube channel, posting content about what you know, building a personal brand in your niche, or even just networking like a pro. Attention is the modern version of compound interest. The more you have, the faster it multiplies. But here's the thing. Attention can also destroy you if you chase it for the wrong reasons. If you try to look rich before you actually are, the world will sniff that out instantly. People can smell desperation online. That's why the real rich don't scream, "Look at me!" They quietly control where people look. They build value so magnetic, people choose to pay attention. That's power, the kind that can't be faked or borrowed. So if you want to build wealth today, learn this. Money doesn't chase silence. It chases attention. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if no one knows who you are or what you offer, you're invisible in the economy that now runs on eyeballs. So build something people can't ignore. Because the second the world starts watching, the game changes forever. But that's exactly where most people self-destruct. Because once they finally start getting attention, they make the dumbest move possible. They start looking rich instead of becoming rich. And that's truth number 5. Truth number 5, looking rich keeps you broke. Honestly, this one I really can't believe I have to talk about, but it needs to be said. Because you ever notice how the people who look rich usually aren't, and the people who don't care about flexing usually are? That's not an accident, because real wealth hides. It doesn't perform. Every dollar you spend to look rich is a dollar you just burned that could have bought your freedom. Luxury isn't the enemy. Ego is. Wealthy people understand that money is a tool for buying options, not status. And here's the irony. The more you prioritize freedom over flexing, the more status you eventually gain. People start to respect results, not labels. So if you ever want to know who's actually winning, check who's quiet, because loud money is fragile, but quiet money is forever. And speaking of quiet, the sixth truth is the one nobody teaches in school, yet it's the secret behind every millionaire's story. Truth number 6. You don't need more money. You need a better plan. All right, now here's a secret nobody tells you. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a management problem. And that's what I'll explain now, so listen closely. Because if you can't handle $1,000, you'll definitely fumble $10,000. If your wallet leaks at $40,000 a year, it'll explode at $100,000. People love to say, if I just made more money, I'd finally save. No, you wouldn't. You'd just spend more creatively. The truth is, wealth starts with direction, not dollars. A plan forces clarity. It's what turns chaos into control. It's the difference between saying, where did all my money go? And I know exactly where every dollar is headed. Wealthy people budget with intention, not limitation. They treat every dollar like a soldier. Each one must serve a mission: invest, grow, protect. And guess what? Planning doesn't require spreadsheets or fancy apps. It just requires awareness. Track your spending for 30 days. You'll instantly find leaks you didn't know existed. The moment you see where your money's going, you'll realize building wealth isn't about earning more. It's about redirecting what you already have. But planning only matters if your money is moving. And that brings us to the next truth, one that separates dreamers from builders. Truth number 7. Saving money alone will never make you rich. Yep, don't be fooled here. You can't save your way to wealth because saving money is like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, but you're not going anywhere. Don't get me wrong, saving is vital. It's your foundation. But it's not the finish line. Inflation eats savings alive. Your dollar today buys less tomorrow. So if your money isn't earning, it's dying slowly. That's why the wealthy use saving as a temporary holding pattern, a waiting room before money gets sent out to work. They don't save to feel safe. They save to invest. You see, money is energy, and energy must move to grow. Whether it's real estate, index funds, side hustles, or dividend stocks, the rich constantly redirect money into assets that create cash flow. Meanwhile, broke people store money in checking accounts, thinking it's safe, while inflation steals 8% of its value every year. The lesson? Don't just save money, deploy it. Let your money earn more money. Because every dollar you save is a seed, but if you never plant it, it never multiplies. But even after you learn to invest, there's something even more powerful than money. And that's the mindset behind how you use it. Truth number 8. Your mindset determines your money. If you think money is evil, guess what? You'll subconsciously push it away. If you believe rich people are greedy, your brain will never let you become one because it doesn't want you to become the bad guy. Wealth isn't just math, it's psychology. Your relationship with money determines how it behaves around you. Poor people focus on spending. The middle class focuses on saving. But the wealthy, they focus on multiplying. They don't say, can I afford this? They ask, how can I make this pay for itself? That simple shift changes everything. The broke mindset sees scarcity. Every purchase feels like losing something. The wealthy mindset sees leverage. Every dollar is an employee that can earn more. You can't out-earn a broken mindset. But once you reprogram how you think about money, you'll start seeing opportunities everywhere. Because wealth isn't built in your bank account first. It's built in your beliefs. And once your mindset shifts, your behavior follows, especially with this next truth that most people totally misunderstand. Truth number 9, debt isn't the enemy. Misused debt is. Let's be real. People love to brag about being debt-free. That's cute, until they realize rich people use debt to build empires. The problem isn't debt itself, it's dumb debt. Bad debt takes money out of your pocket. Good debt puts money into your pocket. A car loan for a flex? Bad. A loan that buys a rental property paying you monthly? Smart. A credit card that funds your shopping addiction? Terrible. A business credit line that funds an income stream? Genius. Debt is a tool, just like fire. It can cook your food or burn your house down. Used wisely, debt is leverage. It accelerates growth and helps you buy income-producing assets sooner. The wealthy don't fear interest. They make interest work for them. So don't blindly avoid debt. Learn to control it. Because once you master that, you're playing a completely different financial game. And when you combine smart debt, systems, and ownership, something amazing happens. Wealth stops being someday and starts being now. Truth number 10. Time is your richest asset, not money. Now finally, this one's the ultimate cheat code. You can always make more money, but you'll never make more time. And that's why every wealth move you make should buy you freedom of time, not just dollars. Because what's the point of making six figures if you have 0 hours to live? What's the point of luxury if you're too busy to enjoy it? Rich people buy time, poor people sell it. Every investment they make, businesses, assets, systems, is designed to free their calendar. That's why the earlier you start, the easier it gets. Compounding works best with time, not talent. You start now, you give your money decades to multiply. You wait until someday, you'll spend decades trying to catch up. So when people say building wealth is hard, what they really mean is starting late is hard. Start now, stay consistent, and time does the heavy lifting. Because wealth isn't just measured in money, it's measured in peace, control, and freedom. So, yeah, building wealth isn't as hard as it looks. It's just hidden behind decades of bad advice, fear, and distraction. The people who figure it out aren't smarter. They're just more focused. They ignore the noise, follow simple systems, and give time a job. You can do the same, starting right now. If this hit home, then it's time to stop hoping for wealth and start building it. Comment the words, "I'm building wealth," if you're done playing small. Because the moment you realize it's not about luck, it's about leverage, everything changes. You're one decision away from flipping the script. Automate your savings, invest consistently, and start treating time like the asset it is. The game isn't hard, it's just misunderstood. And now that you know the rules, you can finally win. As a matter of fact, if you're ready to keep learning the quiet strategies the wealthy actually use, we've created a step-by-step guide that shows the real math behind getting rich. Just click the video on the screen now. It'll blow your mind and show you exactly how the numbers quietly stack in your favor. We'll see you there.